Okay, I'm going to attempt to do this without the microphone. So, please have a seat. And I think it's time to get started. Jeff, you can sit down. You should be fine. Okay. So, sixth graders in the back, have a seat. I don't think we need to clap. They'll figure it out. Ladies, Hazel, Eliza, have a seat, please. Have a seat, please. Don't ask me that again, please. I'll tell you in a minute. No, you can't go in there. Water, turn off. Okay, please have a seat. Welcome to the sixth grade graduation. Now, this graduation is different than many others. Usually, we would have parents and adults come in, and it'd be different. But this year has been different for you. So, I just want to give you guys an idea of what the graduation will look like. Okay? Is this on? Is this on?
Yes. It's on.
Okay. So, the microphone is for the people that need it for speeches, so you don't have to talk quite as loud. The one thing to remember about this is you don't want to get close to the speaker, or it does that really horrible sound. So I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep this off for now. When you come up for your speech, if you need it, you can use it. Okay. Now here is how this is going to work. I'm going to give kind of like some opening remarks, and then I will call up each sixth grader, okay, and Zoe, because Zoe will be going to Salk next year. And we'll go through our little ceremony over here, which will include the signing of the guitar. Okay? So, no questions right now. But I will tell you what the movie is afterwards. We have choices. The sixth graders will be spread out and asked to vote so that there can be no friend influence. Okay? And then we will watch a movie. I've got it all set up. So, we got a fun day. But we do have to keep it calm. Okay? There is still class going on. And I really want to remind those of you that are not sixth graders or Zoe, remember this is about them. Okay, so let's be very respectful during this. Okay? So, if you have to use the bathroom or something, just give me the hand signal, and I'll let you go. Well, many graduation ceremonies, they're set up like this. I mean, obviously the chairs will be closer. Okay. Let's keep the jokes to a minimum. Okay. There's plenty of time for jokes later. For now, we're gonna stay focused on our presentations. Okay. Now, every year I give a speech, and well, this year's kind of different. I think we can all agree that this year's quite a bit different than most years. I'm really excited that we're actually all here to have this graduation. I didn't think it would happen. I thought we might still be doing the A-B, and it was going to be really hard, but here we are. Okay? It's a little different. We're spread out. We've got these things on our faces that make it difficult for us to read emotions. Okay? I think we sometimes forget how important our face is to understand what people are saying. So, I'm really glad that we're able to do this. And even though this year is not like any other year, there was no sixth grade trip, which really made me sad. There was no camp out, which made me even sadder. Okay? There's a lot of things that we didn't get to do. But here's the thing. This year, you will never forget. I mean, you would have not forgotten this year anyway if you were a fifth or a fourth or a sixth grader. But this year is different because it's the year that the world changed. Okay? The world really did change. And so even though we didn't get to do the things that we wanted to do, we still experienced something really big. And that's the type of thing that will stick with you for the rest of your life. It'll be a memory that I like to call like a deep memory. Okay? Each of us has deep memories. Memories that we can come back to quite frequently. Okay? They're ones that stick around. It's not like, that time I tripped and, scabbed my knee last week.
I always remember.
Like that memory is probably going to disappear. Okay? But the memories from this year, there's some pretty, like, one of these days you're going to be like 35 years old. You're going to close your eyes and you're going to see the team screen.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to see the team screen anymore. But there will be a time when you can think back to something that happened on Teams. And it's going to be a memory that sticks with you. So,
In a bad way.
is it a good way? Is it a bad way? Okay. All right, remember, I want you guys to keep the comments to a minimum. There will be some times that we're going to respond as a group, like teams. Oh no. Okay, but let's keep this stuff to ourselves, okay? Layla, are you okay?
I'm just kidding.
Okay. Okay, so each year I give a speech. And it's the same speech, but it's a different speech. And this speech has to do with life. Now, although I'm your teacher and I'm supposed to teach you how to do math, and I'm supposed to teach you how to do the scientific method and write and read and all that, I'm also here to teach you about life. And that's one of the reasons I do Day in History. Because each event that happens in our life starts with somebody doing something. We see it in Day in History all the time. So-and-so did this, look what happened. Okay, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. Okay? Now, for us though, we have to remember that you can't always be happy. And that kind of sounds bad. But you can't always be sad either. If you don't feel sad, then you are unable to feel happy. If you always feel happy, and that's all you have, then, like, what do you have to balance it out with? What do you have to compare it to? Okay? You might have your most favorite food in the entire world. But if you don't taste something absolutely disgusting, you're not going to appreciate how yummy that food is. Okay? So, I'm going to tell you a story from when I was a child. And it has to do with sledding. Has anybody heard this speech before?
Nope.
No! In the back? Okay. So, we're going to go back in time to, I'm going to say, 1989. Okay, 1989. Now, my little brother, at the time, I was like 10 or 11 years old. My little brother was like, no, I must have been right in middle school, because he was like 3 or 4. Does anybody have like a 3 or 4-year-old brother or sister? They're pretty small, right? They're not very big. Now, I decided to go sledding, and I grew up down by Amon's Music and the Rocket Bakery on 14th and Walnuts. Does anybody know where that is?
Yep,
Okay.
I live right there.
Now, if you go down 14th, you go down to Hangman Creek. Okay, there's like a big gully. Like there's a, what did we used to call it? We used to call it the Bluff. I would say, hey mom, I'm going to the Bluff. And we go down there and we play, we catch grasshoppers, we do all kinds of fun stuff. And it was the middle of winter. We had a crazy snowstorm. One of those snowstorms that you look out and you're like, yeah, that's sledding, or that's snowballs, or I'm gonna make a fort. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. So I go to my mom. My mom's upstairs working. You know how adults get when they're working, right? You could tell them that the house is on fire and they'd be like, okay, right? So I say, Mom, I'm taking Michael, my little brother, sledding. We're going sledding at the Buff. She's like, okay. So we get on our sleds and we head out. And it's nice and it's smooth. You know how the roads get when like cars have been driving on it? And it's like kind of icy but not. And you can just like, slip on it.
Yeah.
So I was pulling my little brother. It's super easy to pull him, right? It's like pulling on like soft butter, okay? And as I'm pulling him along, we start going down the hills and we get like to the little hills.
Oh.
They go down.
Oh.
And they're pretty good, right? I'm a veteran sledder. I sledded so much when I was a kid. Then we get to the bluff.
Oh, no.
Now, the bluff, I knew this spot that if I were to go back in time, I would never allow children to sled down it.
Wait, Tom.
Okay, because it was steep and there was so much snow, and we went down this hill, and we went so fast, and we had so much fun. We didn't hit any rocks or any trees, and we made it to the bottom. It was probably one of the most amazing sledding hills ever. Okay, and when we got to the bottom, we were so happy. Then, you know what we realized? We had to climb back up. And it was fresh snow. Nobody sledded there. And this snow was like this. Now, for me, as an 11 or 12-year-old, right, I can just walk right up it. It's hard, okay? But my little brother, he, like, the snow came up to his waist.
Yeah.
And so we are climbing, and my little brother's like, I can't do this, I want to quit. And I'm yelling at him, because, you know,
Yeah.
we yell at our siblings. Let's just admit it, right? Okay, so I'm yelling, I'm like, you can do it, come on. We'll get hot chocolate when we get back, okay? And so we finally get up. I didn't think we were going to make it. Like, I was kind of freaking out. But we made it. We made it up to the top. And that hill, the first hill we went down, the easy one, didn't seem that hard. And then when we got back up to the flat part where it was already smooth, it was so easy. We got back, and we had a hot chocolate, and we watched some TV, and I never forgot it. Now, the reason I tell you this story is that in life, as you get older, there's going to be some things that are so much fun. They are going to be amazing. You're going to love it. It's going to be something that's just great. There's going to be things that are easy. But you know what's going to balance that out? You got to climb back up the hill. There's going to be times where things are really, really, really hard. And you're going to think like you want to quit. But you can't. You just got to keep going up. Okay? You've got to keep going. You have to balance. You have to know that the sledding down, the fun thing, you have to, it's going to be balanced over here. That's the way the world works. It's up and it's down.
What if you sled on like a normal,
So,
like, a straight thing?
what I want you guys to remember is that it can't always be sunshine and butterflies. Okay? Video games and movies. You've got to do your work too. So, now, with that story, I like to use that as what we call a metaphor. Okay? I'm comparing it to life. It's a story compared to life. And with that, I think it's time to start celebrating the students that have spent 3, 4, 2 years in class. Okay? And I have a few things to give. They're kind of funny, and some of them are pretty serious, and I thought a lot about it. Okay? Now, what I'm going to ask is that you do your absolute best, students that are not coming up, to be calm and not interrupt during this process, especially if a student is giving a speech. It takes a lot of guts to give a speech, okay? So, no questions right now, okay? Oh, yes. Everybody at the end of each, when I start clapping, we can all start clapping, okay? I'll give you the signal, okay? So, the first person to come up is William Barker. Come on up, Bill. Come on up. William, you can stand right over here. William has been in our class for 3 years. I present to you this certificate of graduation. It means that you have made it through elementary school. Okay? And there's a few, well, you do still have a few days left, but when 6th graders get to this point, as long as you're able to function normally, I kind of give you a pass. So there's a few things I have for you. The first one's kind of funny. I decided to give you each an animal to help remember the class. But this is a graduation dinosaur. As you can see, he's got a little hat. Okay, you can place him right by your bed, so each night you can think about words of the day in history. And stuff. You've got a ping pong ball, a bouncy ball, okay, and most importantly, I chose a tie for you. Okay, now I had to decide for Will whether I could find the most colorless tie possible, or the one with the most color. And what do you think I chose? I think I have just about every color for you here. Okay? And it's little frogs, and the thing about Will is that when I ask him to do something, he hops right to it. So, oh, okay. Will, thank you so much. I want you to come over here, and you're going to sign the guitar. Are you ready? Okay, come on over. Do I need to ask what color you want, or should I just give you black? Okay. I'm going to have you sign right over here. Okay, keep it. Okay. Well, good luck. All right, don't forget your graduation dinosaur.
Yay, Barney!
Okay, next up is Sophia Lawson. Come on down. Welcome, Sophia. I was really excited that you got to spend another year with us. I have this graduation certificate. You can put it on your wall next to all those other important things. And what we have for you today, we have a graduation dolphin. Okay? Just by the way, I had my daughter choose the animals at random, and then students choose at random. So, I don't know. You can put this right by all your toy horses. Do you have toy horses still? No? Okay. Ping pong ball. Now, this tie, when I saw it, I immediately knew it was for you. It's got little dogs and cats. Okay? Ever since I've known you, you've loved animals, you've taken care of animals, and I thought, this just says Sophia. So, that is for you. And I'm really sad that you're going to be moving on, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, do you have a speech?
Yes.
Okay, so I am going to turn it over for you. Would you like the microphone? Yes. Okay. There you go. Go grab your speech. Yeah, just hold it, give it a shot, see, just get the volume right, just don't get it too close to the speaker.
Okay. Hi everyone. I like to think of my 4 years in Tom's class as all of his ties. Some of them are meaningful, some are funny, and others no one understands. There are things that Tom class does that no other class does, like engineering. It can be serious with testing all of them out, but it can also be fun. One of the most meaningful is day in history. There are fun ones like Coca-Cola and cereal, but most of them are meaningful, like 9/11, Martin Luther King Jr., and Pearl Harbor. But there are ones in between, like the molasses flood and all the super exciting space ones. And most of them I will always remember, like my new kitten, whose name is Ivan Ivanovich. But there are the fun ties, like 4th grade, Tom went to a Coldplay concert and he took a video to show us. He put it on the smartboard and we all had a dance party before school. Most of them are fun days ahead, like movie day. And there are also the ties that no one understands, like Tom's architecture tie with measurements, but it's really a blueprint for a building. Like before Corona, we had extra recess and Tom would shoot baskets for how much time we got. Or me and my friends made a skit out of grammar cards and acted it out. Now I'm going to tie this all up and try to remember that each fun, meaningful, and no understand moments is just a tie. And by the time you're older, you will have a lot of ties, just like Tom.
Now, for the ceremonial signing of the guitar, I will let you choose the color you want. Here we go. Okay. Excellent. Thank you. Congratulations. Next up is Reese Mahar. Come on, Reese, I present to you this certificate of graduation. You can put it next to all your other future diplomas. And like I said, the choice was not mine, but they chose the graduation beetle just for you. Got your little hat. Okay, not bad. Okay.
It looks better than me when
Now,
I saw it.
I had to think about ties. And I had to think about, this is my tie story. I'm going to make you stand up here for this, okay? But you got to face this way. You got to face your peers. Now, I took all 300 of my ties and I laid them on my bed. And then I had to go through and I had to decide, is this a tie that I cannot get rid of, okay? Like my first day of school tie. I can't get rid of that one, okay? Is this a tie that I'm never going to wear, like the Bart Simpson that might be showing his bottom, okay? I just can't wear that one. Now, and then there's all these ties in the middle. And as I went through, I had to decide, can I give this one away? Like, do I like it enough that I can't give it away? And I thought to myself, you know what? I wear them once a year, and I find new ties all the time. So I'm just gonna throw them out there. And so, Reese, today, you,
My
sir,
tie! Yeah.
you
Oh
get
my
one money. I saw this and I was like, yeah, that's nice. Okay, so Reese, did you have a speech? No speech. Okay, so let's go ahead and move over here to sign the guitar. You ready? Here we go. Okay, thank you, Reese. Congratulations.
Congratulations!
Okay.
That's the coolest tire.
It is a pretty cool time.
Awesome.
Next is Nora. Nora, come on down. Nora, I present to you the certificate of graduation. There you go. Now, as I look through my ties for you, well, actually, first we better do the animal. You ready? You get graduation hippo. They are strong, powerful creatures. Okay, now the tie though, I saw the tie and I knew immediately, but it was really tough for me because I think one of the things we share in common is the love of stories, right? And I had to think, well, yes, I just have to give it to her. You get the book tie.
Yes!
Look at that. Look at that. Okay, you can hold on to it. Now, I thought you would appreciate that. Nora, did you have a speech prepared?
I do.
Okay, would you like a microphone?
Yes.
Would you like the stool?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, there we go.
I'm in a Star Wars tie.
I saw one and I said, that one's for Marcus.
Which one?
Okay, here we go.
Which one? There we go. Star Wars tie.
Hello. My name is Nora, and I think most of you already know that. Next year, I'm going to be going to middle school at a different school. And I would just like to talk for a bit about my favorite moments in Tom's class. When I accidentally, kind of on purpose, hit JP in the face with a hacky sack in 4th grade. My first engineering contest, and the first one that I won, the 4th grade energy fair. When we got the nanos and signed them in 4th grade. 4th grade camp out when it flooded and we all, well, Nick, Sienna, Sailor, and a few other people and I got stuck in the art room. And when Nick, Sienna, Sailor, and I caught a snake at 4th grade, running around the school sanitizing things in the beginning of COVID, when Tom used to let us skip recess, and this year because it was crazy. That is my speech.
Okay, it's time to sign the guitar. You ready? Okay, we'll pick that up when we're done, okay? Oh, what did you guys say? Okay. Why don't you put yourself down? Okay, you ready? Okay, choose your color. Excellent. Thank you. Congratulations, Sarah. Next up, Yair. Come on up. Yair, welcome to graduation. Today, I have for you, sir, an honorary diploma. There you are. The animal that was chosen for you was the graduation lizard.
Yeah, graduation was
Yes. It's like an iguana. Not bad. You want to hold on to it? Okay. Now the tie for you was a little more difficult. And I looked, and then I saw one that caught my eye. Okay? It's, don't, be careful. That was the tears, because I know how sad you are to be leaving. Okay. Now, well, it's a metaphor. Now, the tie I chose for you, Yair, is this one. And the reason I chose this is that it reminded me of the places that you've been, that I've never been and want to go, and the places that you're probably going to go. Of all the times that you've come back from summer break and told me about the places you went, I was really excited for you, because there's something to be said for seeing new things and new places. They change us. Okay? These are memories that will stick with us. And as someone that spent most of their life in Spokane, I think it's really cool that you get to see so much of the world. And I know that you're going to see more of it. So, did you all have a speech? No? Okay, you want to sign? Let's sign the guitar. You can put your stuff down right here. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Choose your color.
much sadder than I anticipated, Tom.
Nice. Very impressive. Thank you.
I forgot my tie.
Oh, don't forget your tie.
The bag itself.
Leah was not here today, unfortunately. So I'll give hers when she comes next week. So, but let's clap for Leah. Hers was quite possibly the easiest tie I could have picked. Can anybody guess the theme? This is what.
Oh, it's perfect.
So,
Don't tell her though.
but we will give this to her next week. Okay. All right. Oh, and her animal was the graduation grasshopper. All right. Congratulations, Leah. All right. Next is Nick. Come on up, Nick. Welcome. Congratulations. Here is your certificate of graduation. I'm sure you have a special place on your wall to put it. Probably. Okay. Here is your graduation animal. This is the graduation Stegosaurus. What do you think? You look so happy too. You see that? Now, the tie I chose for you, there were so many ideas I had, but I decided on music. And the reason I decided on music was not because of the instruments or the songs, but because of the dance. And as many times as I've seen you dance or talk about dance or be gone from school because of dance, I thought to myself, dance and music go together. You can dance without music, but I think most of the time, dance is better with music. And so, I give to you the notes. Now, did you have a speech? Yes? Okay. You need the microphone? Do you need the stool? Okay, here we go.
If I start crying, it's not my fault.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Nikki, as you all know, and I will be leaving for middle school. Fun. Not so fun. Gonna miss the classroom. Kind of. Just a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. Anyways, during COVID, during online school, everyone's cameras was off, and you would just see Nora with her camera on.
Mine didn't work.
Same with mine.
My goodness, this cost me so much. I don't really want to leave, but I guess it's time. And the most favorite memory was in 4th grade when I went arm wrestling with JJ. And probably the camp out too. I jumped over the river of water. I got mud all over my shorts. We were stuck there for like 2 hours. It's really fun to be with friends. But there's so much more memories, but I don't really remember them. And I just hope you guys made the best memories in this classroom too, as much as we did.
We got a sign. Okay, here we go. Ready? Okay. Now, Nick, I was going to save this for after my speech, but I always tell my students, you can come back anytime you want, and I will always open my door. If you want to email me and come back for a day in history, and you can set it up, and I'll check with Shannon, you can always come back.
Well, now you can come in virtually anytime.
Yeah, that's true. But then you'd have to look at teams.
Oh, no.
Okay, thank you, Nikki.
When I graduate, I'll come back to this end.
Next is Eliza. Come on! Eliza, welcome, welcome, welcome. I know you will treasure this. And you put it with your hammer. Okay? Now, Eliza has the graduation when? Look at that. Orca. Isn't that beautiful? You see, it's got the tassel. And as I thought, actually, yours was one of the easiest too. But I had to think a lot about this tie because it was a tie that was one of my favorites. But when I saw it, I knew that this one had to be for Eliza. You ready? It's the wolf tie. Do you remember the wolf? The wolves. So I thought about this, and Eliza, you have so much energy. You are such a positive influence on this class. I'm really going to miss you. And did you have a speech today?
Yes?
Here we go. You ready? You want the microphone? Okay.
Okay, so I had a speech written, but I kind of lost the paper. So I'm just going to wing it. I remember in 4th grade camp out when we were doing the bike race, and I was in 4th going to the bridge, but I could not walk, like, at all. It was so tiring, but so fun. And on the bridge, there was, I don't want to really spoil it for the 4th graders, but it's really fun. But because of the flooding, we couldn't do our hike. And that was really sad. And then we didn't get to do camp out for 5th grade, and now we don't get to do it for 6th grade. But I feel like all the weird teams crashing and Wi-Fi incidents kind of makes up for it in some weird way. And I remember in Zoom, you could private message, but I loved that. And Mia and I were so scared about turning on our cameras, but there was this one day where we were texting the whole time, being like, okay, you got this, turn on your camera. And we were like shaking and turning on our cameras, and we got so scared, and we were calling afterwards, and we're like, oh my god, we actually did it. And I just remember a chart. I don't know. I don't think so, but I think so. It's confusing. I don't know, but yeah, there.
Thank you, Eliza. Okay, here we go. You ready? Ready for the signing? Okay. Okay, and next, Sienna. Congratulations. Here is your honorary graduation certificates. Now, the animal that was chosen for you is the fly. It's not really an animal, it's an insect. But it actually fits really well because one of the things that I always remember, especially in 4th and 5th grade, was you used to always do like the craziest splits and flips, and it always kind of freaked me out a little bit because I was always worried. I've told you guys one of my big fears is like children getting hurt, right? And so when I see people like flipping around. So and when I looked for ties, I thought, you know, I think an Olympic tie would go well. And this is actually from the 1992 Olympics. Somebody bought it at the Olympics, which is kind of cool. So I saw this and I thought, well, there's some jumping on here. So, Sienna, did you have a speech? No? Okay, let's come sign. Come on over. Here we go. Okay, you ready? Student, a 5th grader, who is going to a different school next year. And I'm really going to miss, yep, Zoe, come on up. Now, I have a rule in my class that it doesn't matter what grade you are. If you're in the class and you move on, you're graduating. So, I have for you, Zoe, a graduation certificate. And, okay, now, the animal, though, because you only got 1 year here, well, 2. I mean, this year was kind of strange, but we'll go with 2 years. I'm not going to be able to be with you next year, so I had to add a little something to your animal to make up for it. You get the sparkle, dressed up dinosaur with graduation cap. Look at that. And when it came to the tie, I saw this one, and you know what? I don't know why, but it said Zoe. And I think it's because it is such a neat looking tie. It has a little embroidery, and it reminded me of the work that you would turn in. Your work was always so nice and pretty and lined up, and I thought, this is just a really pretty tie. So. Okay, and are you ready to sign? You're going to sign the guitar. Come on over. Here we go. Okay, I hope you've been practicing. It's okay. Congratulations. Here is your bag with your fancy dinosaur. There you go. Okay, now, let me grab my notes here. And that concludes this portion of the graduation. Now, I do have a few words to say here as we wrap up the presentation portion. Now, we talk in day history a lot about the past. And I ask you many different times, why do we talk so much about history? And one of the responses that always makes me smile is when someone says, so we don't make the same mistakes we've made in the past. Okay? Now, many of the things that we talk about in day in history I almost always try to find a way to reference the future. Does anybody imagine or think they can count how many space day in histories there are?
Way too many.
Wait, say, how many are there?
It's like 50.
There's like a lot, right? And the reason, do you know how many, Layla?
Probably like 40.
There's quite a few. And the reason I do so many of those is because I really think that that is the next thing that your generation is going to explore. Okay? Besides the bottom of the ocean, that's the next spot. And that's why I really want you guys to be interested in that sort of, those sort of things. Because we have to keep looking to the future. And I'm really excited, especially for you 6th graders and Zoe, to go out and move on. Because this is really the end of, it's at the end of elementary school. It's a new world you're going into. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, I'm going to say it again. I will always be here if you need anything. If you ever want to stop by, if you ever want to come say hi, you are always welcome to. You can send me an email, okay, and I'll respond. If you want to send me an email and just ask what day in history it is today, will make me smile. Okay? And on that note, I think it might be a good time to look at some pictures. Because nothing says graduation like a bunch of pictures from years past. You go ahead and stop. Okay.